Here's a problem. Circle O with a diameter of CD, where C is located at this point, D is located at 1, 2. What's the equation of the circle? Now the equation of the circle, we know it's going to be x minus wherever the center of the x value is squared, plus y minus wherever the center of the y value is squared, equals the radius squared. So we need the radius. Now CD is the diameter. So if we find the distance between these 2 points and then cut it in half, that will end up being our radius. At the same time, we need the center of the circle. Well, the center is simply going to be the midpoint. So we got to do 2 things here. We need to do the distance formula to get the diameter length and then cut it in half to get the radius. And then we also need to find the midpoint to figure out where the center of the circle is, which those values will go here and here. So let's first start with the distance. The distance formula simply says it's the square root of the difference of your x's squared plus the difference of your y squared. Now most books will simply say x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. I simply look at my x's, negative 7 and 1. How far apart are negative 7 and 1? They're 8 apart. So when I subtract those, I'm going to get an 8 squared. Notice that it doesn't matter if you subtract them in a different way and you get negative 8, because a negative 8 times a negative 8 would be positive 64. 8 times 8, positive 64. No matter what you do here, when you square it, whether it's a negative or positive, you're going to get a positive number. Difference in my y's, 2, negative 4, those are 6 apart. Oh, this is pretty nice. This is going to be 64 and 36 square root of 100. They give us a nice little diameter of 10. If the diameter is 10, you and I know the radius is 5. So I'm going to have a 5 squared here. So in other words, the final answer will be a 25. Now we need to find the center of the circle. Those values will go here and here. To find the center, again, what I'm going to simply do is I'm going to find the midpoint. To find the middle of anything, you simply add them together and divide by 2. So we want to add our x values together. If we add those together and divide by 2, negative 7 plus 1 is negative 6. Negative 6 divided by 2 will be our x value. Negative 4 and positive 2 added together, that's going to be negative 2 divided by 2. So we have a center of negative 3, negative 1. That means what I'm going to put right here is a 3 and a 1. Now, this is perfectly fine here because we see that what happens is we have that as a negative 3 and a negative 1. So when this is a negative 3 and a negative 1, what's that going to change to? Boom, plus and a plus. Because if you minus a negative 3 and you minus a negative 1, they're going to change to pluses in there. So when we look at this, we can see the center is going to be a negative 3, negative 1. Most of us usually teach you to look at this and know that it's the opposite symbols. If you see a plus 3 here, you know the center is a negative 3 and a negative 1. We always tell you to sort of read it the opposite. So since we had negative 3, negative 1, we're going to end up putting negative 3, negative 1 there, but a minus, minus, going to change those to pluses. So the final answer would be x plus 3 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 25.